All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks the Podcast, episode 343. Today on the show, Ilhan Omar's husband's company did like a 300x in revenue in recent years. Was it fraudulent? Then, wait until you hear how much money was allotted per homeless person in New York City and California. Get the fraud alert going for that, too. Then in Cringe of the Week, a new trans study on mental health just came out, and the results are what you'd expect. And last but not least, in Urban Decay, there's a showdown between minimum wage workers versus repeat offenders, and you're not going to want to miss it. All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks the Podcast, episode 343, ranked the best news podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
Fleccas Talks the Podcast featuring Richard Grabboy.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, I know Kim Kardashian isn't the brightest bolt in the box, but listen to what she said in this interview.
You said you self-care. What do you do? How do you get this body?
I'm big on NMNs. I've been taking them for a year now.
Yes.
And talk about all of the anti-aging stuff that he does. And he was really big on NMNs.
I'll be honest, I was kind of skeptical after watching that, so I did a deep dive into NMN and David Sinclair, the guy she mentioned, and I found this video here.
NAD is required for life. It's involved in chemical reactions, but it's also used as a sensor for the body of adversity. When we have no adversity, we're eating a lot and sitting around, NAD levels go down. That's true as we get older as well. So a 50-year-old has half the levels of a 20-year-old for NAD. What we like to do is to boost the levels of NAD back up to youthful levels and mimic exercise, mimic dieting, or even enhance those modalities. Now, we've even got human clinical trial data. I was mentioning one of my companies has done clinical trials already for the last few years. And by raising NAD levels, we can actually improve human health. And we hope that this will be a drug one day to treat diseases ranging from kidney failure to even COVID-19 survival. So what about NMN? Well, NMN is a precursor that the body uses to make NAD. And by ingesting NMN, we've shown in humans that you can raise your NAD levels by about 2 to 3-fold. And that's beneficial in humans based on clinical studies.
What's crazy is our body naturally produces NAD, but as we age, those levels drop, which contributes to the aging process. That's why people are turning to NMN. By boosting NAD plus levels, it may help with things like wrinkles, joint discomfort, brain fog, and recovery. Research suggests that taking about a gram of NMN daily can significantly raise NAD levels in the bloodstream. The one recommended to me was from Black Forest Supplements. They've had over 300,000 orders, tons of 5-star reviews, and their ingredients are all at clinically studied doses. The only downside is, since the Kardashians started talking about it, NMN has been selling out fast. So if you see the orange card below, it is still available and you need to get some while you still can. Black Forest just launched their biggest deal of the year and it's insane. It's a buy one, get one free of their best-selling NMN, and it's only available for the next 48 hours. So if you've been thinking about trying it, act now. Once 48 hours pass, this promo is going to be gone and prices will go back up again. Stock up before it's gone forever. Take control of your health before someone else does it for you. Thank you to Black Forest for sponsoring. Let's get into housekeeping. All right, thank you to Black Forest Supplements for sponsoring.
Thank you, Black Forest.
Thank you, Black Forest. We thank them a lot. So make sure you guys support our sponsors that are constantly supporting us.
Lovely.
Hey, did everyone have a nice Easter?
I did.
I did as well. I did, but I wasn't too happy with the Easter announcements I saw. Google actually did it finally. You know how they don't do any Easter thing on the Google page?
Yeah, but it was little eggs and bunnies shit. It's not the power of Christ.
Yeah.
It's not. It's Christ. It's not about Christ rising on the third day.
It was about the Easter bunny.
It's about cute pink little toddler
eating
shit.
candy.
Step in the right direction, maybe, if you're looking for scraps and slop from corporate overlord.
But some places you'd expect to see a nice Christian Easter message. We didn't, especially in Texas. Look what they did for in Houston for Easter.
Yeah, due to the spring holiday, unknown spring holiday, City of Houston offices will be closed Friday, Good Friday, basically. No flowery graphics of any kind, just a picture of the building. Spring holiday, we're going to be closed for spring holiday.
But they did do an announcement for Eid al-Fitr.
Yeah, that's how a Texan would pronounce it, Eid al-Fitr. Happy Eid al-Fitr, and they got the whole thing, the moon and the star, and it's the same mayor, John Whitmire. And they also did Happy Passover. Jag Pesach Samich, brother. So, one of these things is not like the other. And I don't know. Is it so hard to hide your resentment a little? Someone, I guess maybe the PR person has some anti-Christian resentment and made a move there. But stuff like this makes it so obvious.
Yeah, it's very evident that we're being conquered, and these are just little ways you see it. We have a nice fraud section coming up. What we mentioned in the intro, Ilhan Omar's husband has been making a lot of money. There's a Fox segment about it.
Good to see you, my friend. What's the old saying? Follow the money? Well, that's precisely what the House Oversight Committee is doing. They are probing squad member Ilhan Omar's skyrocketing family wealth, Jesse, especially in the wake of that $9 billion, some would argue $19 billion, Somali social services fraud scandal that exploded in her district in Minnesota. The Oversight Chair, James Comer, says his team's lawyers are exploring the extraordinary step of subpoenaing Omar's spouse over his curious business practices. Republicans want to know how the Somali-born Omar and her politically connected husband Tim Minette went from being nearly broke to being worth around $30 million in just a year, according to her 2024 disclosure forms. Quoting Comer now.
So that's a lot. And apparently it's his business they're looking into, which was on the books for making like $50K a year. And now it's somewhere between $7 and $30 million a year.
Yeah, and it's like Al Capone reporting his illegal income. They did do it on the self-submitted forms, and they're just hope nobody notices the fucking 10X coinciding with all the fraud. And she's the Somali leader of that area, and all the Somalis who are grabbing cash from federal programs hand over fist. You think none of it made its way back to Tony Soprano at the top?
Very true.
So whether or not she was good enough to hide it or embezzle it in a way, I think it's a foregone conclusion that she and her husband are doing sketchy shit. Whether or not the House Oversight Committee has any teeth or they're just going to ask a couple hard questions and get a TV interview and walk away, I guess that'll be determined. But
it's too bad Pam Bondi's not here to take care of this.
I know.
She'd
crazy.
be all over this one.
She would.
And to be fair, her husband does look like he is business savvy.
Is that a slur, euphemism, some kind? Here's his picture at the end,
He's very business savvy. Okay. I don't want to say too much about his religion, but he does look savvy.
Okay.
But that would be interesting. But do you expect anyone to get arrested? Do you expect any investigations to really have any teeth?
Well, if she made a dumb move, we can catch her. It's really just a matter about how smart they were with one hand never interacting with the other, right?
Yeah.
And this shit's common. I think I just saw Eric Swalwell was paying his own wife out of his governor for California campaign. He was paying her for childcare, which she already has to do. So, everybody does this in some form. It's a matter of how egregious it was. And from whatever, basically 0 to 30 million, pretty egregious.
And I think it's like an unspoken thing that both sides kind of do.
Yes.
So it's almost like, oh, yeah, like our businesses are going up. We're making more money, but you guys do it too. Lindsey Graham, you do it too.
Which was a big thing, I think, with the 501c3, like the nonprofit investigations. Republicans didn't really want to do that because they have the same thing going on our side. And these kind of almost whatever mutually assured destruction or whatever you call it, it hurts everybody. It hurts the taxpayer, and they keep sucking our blood dry.
Yeah. That's the key. And this next story will make you mad as well. California discovers $146 billion a year in Medicaid fraud.
Look at this number, $146 billion. Health and Human Service officials confirmed that number to Chris Rufo as the staggering amount of fraud in a single program in Gavin Newsom's state Medicaid system. Stop and think about that. $146 billion, a single program, a single state. That is slightly more than Warren Buffett's estimated net worth. It is more than the GDP of several small countries like the Marshall Islands and Dominica, just to name a
We get it.
Yeah.
And that's just California. And I'm kind of like trying to extrapolate this to what it means bigger picture. There's almost a $2 trillion a year budget for Medicare and Medicaid. And then if you think about these numbers where $150 billion in one state alone is going to fraud, we're talking like trillions of dollars a year in fraud when you zoom out, not just Medicare, Medicaid, total programs.
In perpetuity, forever, while we're putting all our shit on a credit card, right? We're in debt. We have $38 trillion and change in debt, and we're putting all of this fraud on a credit card. So that's what's going on in California. Enjoy.
And then we're in like 40 trillion of debt. And then if you've done this for the last 20 years and you want to do it for the next 10 years and you add up all the interest, like what, more than half of our national debt was just stolen from us?
Pretty much. And hey, let's look at the silver lining of the cloud. At least California's gotten a lot better over the last 20 years. And a lot more white people are there. And it's lovely. There's no shit on the ground or homelessness there. So they're allowed a little fraud. If they ran a clean ship, they could get away with a little fraud.
Well, yeah.
But too many things at once and it starts to crumble, right?
If it was a good op and you were skimming some off the top.
Yeah. Old casino, Joe Pesci, skimming some off the top. Gavin Newsom gets his kickbacks. But Ilhan gets 30 mil. If they ran a clean ship,
they could.
The populace wouldn't revolt as much as they have.
But they're skimming off the top the actual program. So the skimming is
not much of a skim. It's the old cartoon thing where the guy takes money out of his wallet and then his wife grabs the wallet instead of the $100 he had for her. It's kind of one of those.
It is one of those, but we're expected to pay taxes next week. So,
I'm gonna get creative.
I want my money back.
I know. I might just go to jail. I might just say no.
And then make it a thing. You want to arrest me for not paying whatever in taxes while you stole all the money and give it to Gavin Newsom?
Yeah.
Put me in chains.
Yep.
We have a guy who broke down the homelessness fraud in California, and this will pretty much blow your mind as well.
Things that cost less than the $35 billion California spent on homelessness. Buying a teeny home for every homeless person in California, 10 times. The entire economy of Iceland. $185,000 cash to every homeless person, or $2,600 a month rent for every homeless person over the period the money was spent. Lighting the money on fire. Just make sure we have enough water to put it out this time.
So $180,000 a year per homeless person, which is well over the median income for California.
Yeah.
Basically double.
I know.
And it's not gotten better at all. It's only gotten worse.
Mm-hmm.
So they stole the money again.
And then again, obviously we've talked about this as a show, Urban Decay, SNAP, homelessness, all these little programs we have. And these aren't guys who, oh man, I lost my job at Enron and now I don't have a house. I was underwater, my mortgage, they're drug addicts. We're spending this much on drug addicts.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
And if you talk to them, we tried, we gave them all the needles to do drugs. We let them camp out and shit on the ground in front of multi-million-dollar buildings.
We gave them the underpass. They didn't make anything of it.
We're letting them camp out.
It was a fire hazard.
We thought it would work. It didn't work.
Yeah.
But we all got rich at least.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some stats out of New York City when it comes to how much money they spent per homeless person.
New York City spent $81,705 per homeless person last year. And meanwhile, the household median income was at $81,000 per Newsweek. So
you spent more on each homeless person than the median income of the richest city in America or maybe the world.
And the poorest person in New York City is someone who has a real job and just makes $65,000, Because anybody below that, they're getting free shit. They're living a different life than you are, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're getting with this, the median income is what we spend on. What are you talking about? You can't. You're supposed to save, and that's why we were talking about all the hotel deals. I think it was a $1.9 billion over 3-year hotel deal. And it's get the cots in the old high school that you closed down because no one could do math. They're not even trying to save money on it. They're just doing whatever.
So that's where all the money went to. But people like Elizabeth Warren have some ideas on how we need to tax the rich.
Yeah, this tweet made a lot of waves this weekend. Jeff Bezos has $222 billion. If he paid my wealth tax this year, we could fund insulin in America for everyone who needs it, plus free school lunch for every kid in Texas, and have plenty of money left over. And Bezos would still have $215 billion to spare.
So it's kind of tone deaf to tweet something like this during the multiple months of fraud exposure that have happened all over the country.
$146 billion per year in California, as we just showed you on one program, the Medicaid. And then Elizabeth Warren thinks it's the time where everyone trusts Democrats as the stewards of the tax dollars. It's as low trusted as it's ever been. And so she does this completely tone deaf, unpopular, whatever, to anybody who's paying attention to how the government spends money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's still a little base supporting group of hers who's just it punishes billionaires, right?
Yeah, that's
and they
true.
start getting like this, getting a little greedy. So she still has a baseline of people who want it either way, whether or not they're going to be good stewards of your money, which we've proven they're not. They waste our money like it's their job, and it is, right? It really is.
And if you think about it, they're talking about taxing Jeff Bezos $7 billion. And it's like, well, you had 20 times that in fraud in California just on Medicaid alone.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to go get the money from Jeff Bezos because we're that desperate.
So again, you got to fix the hole in your ship before you start saying, well, what if we put 2 cannons up here? You know, it's something like that. It's like, well, we're taking on water right now. You really want to talk about Jeff Bezos? And it's like, I'm not even opposed to taxing billionaires, but they're always doing it in a weird socialist grabbing way where it's unrealized capitalized gains. And if you want to fix that, you got to find a way to fix it, bipartisan, right?
And then when you do the tax and you get the $7 billion from Bezos, then everyone gets their cut from it, and it happens again where it's like, oh, that insulin thing didn't really work out.
Yeah,
we took the money.
A lot of
no
administrators
insulin.
got paid.
Yeah.
A lot of people got paid to show up to the school. And then there was even one Somali guy. He said he serviced 100,000. 100,000 kids got insulin. Yeah. And he's in jail 6 years from now. But Bezos is $7 billion less, right?
That's so true. We actually have a comparison here for our next piece about red states versus blue states when it comes to spending on schools.
Yeah, red states spent $14,000 per pupil. Blue states spend $21,200. And the NAEP composite, which is a math and reading kind of test, is basically the same. Red states are about a little less than half a point below. So pretty big discrepancy in spending between red and blue states, but no difference between scoring, interestingly enough.
Then someone had a tweet talking about how Mississippi changed their curriculum.
Yeah, and we had actually covered this on the show. I can't remember if we just did it in Bonus Land or not. When people realize that Mississippi is spending between 10 to 13K per pupil and has gone from 49th in education to 9th in the nation in 13 years, and that they did so by switching to a pre-90s phonics curriculum instead of just flooding a bad system with more money, they'll revolt. And when we covered that, it was basically like, I think Mississippi had identified a pivotal year where you need to be reading by. I think it was between 3rd and 5th grade or 3rd and 4th grade. And they just said, yeah, we're not going to pass you. It was not like you do summer school. It was basically just a stern but fair thing. We're not passing you if you can't read, and look at the results, right?
And that's the key, because like the No Child Left Behind obviously screwed a lot of things up, because if you can't pass 4th grade math and now you're in 6th grade, you literally can't learn it.
Yeah.
Because you needed to build the steps up before that. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of situations like that. In a lot of the blue states and blue cities, especially in California, you have a lot of kids who don't speak English, the children of illegals or the children of immigrants, but they don't speak English. So in these classrooms of like 40 kids, you have multiple translators.
Yeah.
It slows everybody down, so it doesn't work.
Administrator bloat, translators, special ed stuff that is really specialized and costs a lot of money. And all of a sudden you go, oh, I need more money in the budget. And the kids are doing worse or exactly the same.
Yeah. And when you think about the No Child Left Behind mindset, it's like we don't want to fail kids and leave them behind because that'll be mean to them and they're going to lose their friends and it's not fair or it's not right. And then everyone suffers when you pass that kid automatically. So it's like instead of just failing one kid and letting them learn and then eventually pass, you're going to pass them and then everyone kind of lowers their level to the failed kid's level.
Yeah, I don't understand the material, so I'm going to be emotional and disruptive in class. You know? That's the type of kid who No Child Left Behind, and great. He's ruining the experience of the people who didn't need to be dragged up, right?
Very true. All right, let's move on to our January 6th pipe bomber update. This is a little bit of reading for Richard, but he can handle it. But this is really insightful stuff with this developing story.
Yeah, this is from Steve Baker, and he says, January 6th video you've never seen. The much-feared media company killing law firm, Claire Locke, that represents former Capitol Police officer and current CIA asset Shawnee Kirkhoff. Oh, let's be real, they represent the CIA, he says. This is all him. So he's immediately invoking a law firm that kills media companies. So this is all from Steve Baker, USA, on Twitter, all right?
He's just reading it.
Settle down, everybody. They sent a demand/preservation letter to The Blaze, Me and Hannah reports. basically a threat of defamation lawsuit. In that letter, they stated Blaze Media's analysis was also factually flawed. Ms. Kirchhoff's 2015 soccer injury did not give her a slight limp from which any reasonable analyst could link her to the bombing suspect. Ms. Kirchhoff has fully recovered from her injury. In the interim, she has run multiple marathons. Given that Claire Locke has, this is Steve again, given that Claire Locke has dedicated resources to monitoring every word we write and every one of our media appearances, they must know we have hours of video of Miss Kirchhoff's unusual circumduction gait, a kind of limp. Hours of video we've harvested from Capitol CCTV of her as a Capitol police officer on January 5th and 6th, 2021, and from her short professional soccer career, almost all of which is readily available to any member of the public press or one of the law firm's taxpayer-funded paralegals, routed through some dark money conduit foundation or NGO. Kirchhoff cannot afford an $1,800 per hour law firm, well known for not taking defamation cases on contingency.
So we're going to show you the video that no one's really ever seen before. We're going to play it here in the background. You can see the gait, the slight limp of this Capitol police officer when she walks. It's got a little bit of a limp. It's very identifiable.
Yeah.
If you saw that multiple times, you go, oh, that's the same gait.
Yeah.
We're going to finish the tweet. Sorry it's so long, but it is good information.
I warned you about this. I told you, don't make me read it. Is Claire Locke incompletely representing their client, Ms. Kirchhoff, or CIA, by that easily disproved assertion, or were they just trying to scare the Blaze into a quick settlement before their client would have to face the harsh reality of trial discovery? As for Ms. Kirchhoff being a marathon runner, we already knew that. Despite their best efforts to scrub her former internet history, we'd already captured many photos of her participation in marathon events from deep web scrapes. The most interesting little nugget about that is, until recently congressional liaison to the FBI, Marshall Yates, once told me, while reviewing video of the J6 pipe bomber in the office of his former employer, Rep. Thomas Massey, we need to be looking for a marathon runner, in quotes. Why? Because of distinct physical traits that are characteristic of marathon runners and exhibited by the bomber while on that 44-minute trek around the DNC and RNC on the night of January 5th. Claire Locke says no limp. Video evidence says otherwise. Joe and I launch our new endeavor Monday, free of corporate media censorship, where we'll finally be able to tell the whole full story and show you the videos the FBI never wanted you to see. And was this guy fired from the Blaze, or
I believe he was.
separation?
Yeah, there was a separation.
So he's kind of doubling down, risking it all on this. That was all him, Steve Baker.
All
USA.
we did was read it.
We're just reading what's going on with the case we've been following.
It's allegedly. We don't know what happened.
I have no idea.
The alleged Capitol police officer, who's now a CIA agent, also failed the polygraph test when they asked her, "Did you place the pipe bombs?" But I didn't say that.
Yes.
It's just what it was.
Certainly.
So this is all Steve Baker.
Fascinating update, though.
It is very interesting, and it's one of those things.
And if that's the best from the high-paid law firm, like, oh, the limp, it's not her. And it's like, well, here's the video.
Yeah, it looks like a limp to me.
Maybe she's not getting her money's worth.
How much do I charge an hour if you're wrong and you charge $2,000 an hour?
I'll charge half, and I'll watch your video. I'll watch any video.
Yeah, it's a limp.
$900 an hour. That's a limp. You should be good. Double down.
So there is something interesting there, but it's frustrating too because it's our FBI now.
Yeah.
You know? So it's not like, oh, Joe Biden's never going to investigate this person and we're not going to see justice. Kash Patel's in charge. Dan Bongino was just in there.
Yeah.
And it's still getting covered up and no justice. So that's the part that makes you kind of frustrated.
Definitely.
All right, let's get to our Iran section. It's not a ton of stuff. I know there's been talks of a potential ceasefire, maybe a 45-day ceasefire. Hopefully that comes this week.
And I think Netanyahu said, hold up, wait a minute.
Ceasefire tomorrow? Hold on one sec.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, hammer. Let me hit all these power plants.
But Trump did tweet kind of a final threat.
Yeah, he said Tuesday will be power plant day and bridge day all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the fucking straight, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump.
It's like a Kanye tweet.
He's still got it. We're in a war that I don't like, doing shit that we don't need to do, but he does still have it. And I noticed you don't have any assets here about, we had the kind of story of the weekend was this daring pilot rescue mission. There's a big write-up on the New York Times about how we did it. And We got him.
And we have like an Apache helicopter that was floating above the downed airmen. And then whenever the Iranian guard was going towards them, they would just light him up.
Yeah.
It's kind of sick. I don't like the war, but I know we got good tools.
I respect a sick op, and I also very much respect no American left behind. So, we did it. There's some good and bad. Iran really wanted that guy.
Yeah.
They really wanted that guy. So good thing it didn't work out.
And then we have some updates on the Israel side of things. They're kind of planning to expand, which is something we've talked about lightly in the past, but we now have more evidence of it. Can you read the original and then Harrison's breakdown?
Yeah, leaked report, Argentina to accept 300,000 Israelis and create mini-state. A confidential report from the Argentina Secretariat of Strategic Coordination and Assistance in Emergencies has been leaked to the press outlining this plan. And Harrison Smith said, so Israel is creating a mini-state in Argentina, buying 40 Greek islands, establishing New Jerusalem in Ukraine, already running independent oblast in Russia, annexing Gaza, West Bank, and southern Lebanon.
It's pretty interesting.
They're doing an expansion.
And that's kind of what my theory was initially when I saw how they were just making the Ukraine-Russia war continue.
Yeah.
And Ukraine was just losing tons and tons of people, like generations of people.
Of strong men.
You need to replace those people. Who are you going to replace them with? War-torn Israel. They'll just go to Ukraine, which is also like genetically in their history. Like Ukraine is very much a Jewish area in Europe.
Ashkenazi area, right?
Yeah. So that's interesting. Keep an eye on that. Our next piece is something that I didn't think would happen in Israel.
Me neither, but this is fun. We're kind of done really being serious about the war, but apparently a new trend has emerged in Israel. Settlers come to restaurants to eat and then wait for missile sirens and run to shelters without paying. The owners say this trend is hurting their business.
There's a lot of articles written about that.
Yeah, here's a couple of screenshots, because this is kind of a Palestine flag type person. Oh, they got both flags. I don't know what side they're on. But this is a quote from one restaurant owner that says, I particularly remember a large table of 4 at the beginning of the war, said Omri Berel, owner of the A La Rampa bar in Tel Aviv. When the sirens sound, you need to cross the road to get to the shelter. And when you come back from there, most people sit down again and continue their meal. But that table didn't come back, and the damage amounted to hundreds of shekels. The businessman admitted that he could understand such behavior at the beginning of the war. People get scared, want to get in their cars and leave. But he said it keeps happening. So very interesting. Little dine and dash, crab legs, seafood boil.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe this is where black people learned it? Like, jokes aside.
No, black people, it was instinctual. You don't need
But jokes aside, the black victimhood energy that we do see a lot of, they do take a lot of pages out of the Jewish Holocaust victim playbook, respectfully.
Yeah. I mean, that's anybody who tries to market themselves as a victim or owed something. It's all a similar playbook. There's only a few levers to pull there. So I'm with you. But, that's any group who's looking to leverage some sort of political power, right?
Except for white people, because they're never the victims. They're only the ones doing the bad stuff.
Oppressors. We are the oppressors.
I'd rather be oppressor than oppressed.
Yeah. And these were the Chad oppressors who wouldn't let them do anything, like in a history book. Yeah, I'm with them.
Oh, I'm oppressed.
Oh, I'm a victim. They kept beating me up.
I'd rather be oppressor.
Yeah.
All right, we're in our migrant section now. We have some good, interesting stuff today. Wait till you hear the murder stats out of Virginia. 75% of all the murders in Fairfax County, Virginia were done by illegals.
Yeah, illegal immigrants charged in 75% of this year's murders in Fairfax County.
There is a little context, though.
Yeah, there were 4 cases, and illegals were 3 of them. So I don't care, just like we kind of said on last episode where, every migrant loves America and works hard and works harder than you. 75% of the country's murders, let's expand it to the country.
Believe it.
I can't believe this shit. So yeah, there's nothing really there, but 3 out of the 4 were illegals.
But if you think about it, that basically means that like Fairfax, Virginia, or Fairfax County, like wasn't really having any murders.
Yeah.
And then when the migrants came, now there's 3.
Yeah, totally.
So he went from 0 or 1 to 3, and that doesn't count the unsolved. So who knows? All right, we have some stats about asylum denial rates.
U.S. asylum denial rates hit 94.7% in February 2026. So this is kind of an increase. We're really locking down any asylum claims. And that was obviously how Biden got most of these people in, or a lot of them, asylum claims through the app. And we're locking it down. So this is another one of those quiet, levers being pulled, which is a good sign. And shout out to Charles Smirkley. We've covered his data twice now in this episode, so he's aggregating a lot of data on Twitter. Good for him.
Smirkley, like that.
Smirkley.
And then we do have a not-so-good stat about foreign-born numbers being still high.
Foreign-born employment is now higher than when Trump took office. The surge is happening quietly, so this is a really bad one. We loved to see the kind of decrease when Trump initially took office, but we're surging back up.
I don't understand that. I'm going to look further. I don't know what explains that.
Yeah, I don't know, because we did the H-1B thing, but yeah.
Is it the farm workers not leaving? I don't know. Maybe they left and came back.
That's the one thing that Trump kind of was going for. He was helping the farmers with that temporary visa, so I don't know. It must be them, and we're in spring now, so there's some seasonality to it.
That's a good point.
I don't know, but we don't like it. We don't like it. We're actually going to get into legal immigration that actually still replaces us right now.
Yep. But first, we're going to show a Greg Abbott clip where he's talking about Diwali.
Yeah, this is resurfaced clip given the Indian invasion that we don't like to see.
As long as I'm governor of this great state, Texas will be a land for the Indian community, a land for and we will continue to celebrate Diwali here in the great state of Texas.
What the fuck are you talking about? What's Diwali?
Diwali in a Texan accent. That's their stupid holiday, but Texas is going to be a land for Indians. And yeah, we know. We've been watching it and complaining about it. And this is the right.
Yeah.
This is a Republican.
As long as I'm governor, and it's like that's something you'd hear a Democrat say, and it's like, we got to get him out. That's our guy.
So we have to fight the left on illegal immigration, and we have to fight within the right on legally replacing you. Not fucking very cool, right?
That's really not good. And then this is
And then also just one tiny brief thing. We're not building and setting up new Indian communities. They're just taking over certain suburbs, literally displacing Native Americans, right?
Yeah, that's
Native,
very true.
real American patriots.
Yeah, that's very true. And this is a clip from a Texas neighborhood where everyone's doing Indian dancing.
It's like Rabbi Shmuley looking for a cop.
Yeah.
Frenetic.
I'd be fine if we didn't have that.
I'd be fine if that was in Hyderabad or whatever, random, Bangladesh or something. Go over there.
And you could take a trip and you go, oh, we went to India for the Diwali and they were dancing and it was so cool and we ate this food and we came back and America is how America is. It would be so much better if that was the cultural experience.
And we are kind of addressing this because that Greg Abbott clip resurfaced, and we have two new, basically documentaries from people on the right wing. Savannah Hernandez went to Frisco, Texas, kind of released a documentary for Frontline's Turning Point, from streets named Ali Akbar to residents stating that Texas is now mini India. North Texas is seeing a major shift. Great work from Sav. And then Tyler Oliveira, he also just did a video, I Exposed Texas Indian Invasion. He went to Frisco and other areas as well. So if you guys want to watch those, that's great. And those guys did good work for the right. And we've obviously been talking about this issue for a long time, but people going in and speaking to these people and showing the scenes and the new storefronts, it's really powerful. So
yeah, it definitely is. Our next clip is a congressional ad campaign. It's a congressional ad for this guy who's running for office, and it's the same style as Mamdani, and it's not in English.
आपको पता है हम देसी कम्युनिटी न्यू जर्सी के सबसे बड़े कम्युनिटीज में से एक हैं। मेरा नाम जय वागनकर है और मैं जून 2 को कांग्रेस के लिए इलेक्शन लड़ रहा हूं। लेकिन बहुत सालों से हमारी देसी वॉइसेस पॉलिटिक्स में फुली रिप्रेजेंट नहीं हुई हैं। अब वक्त आ गया है कि हमारी आवाज सच में सुनी जाए। इसलिए
So this is in New Jersey, guys.
yeah.
It's not looking good.
And then he's doing a slop mix of English and Indian, some dialect that they speak in India, some Desi thing. But he says communities in English and politics in English. You guys don't have words for that or what? That's what, I don't get it.
And the energy is always the same. It's like, hey, brown people, we need to team up against the oppressive white people. It's like in a revenge energy.
Yeah.
And it's like, vote for the brown guy. We'll help you get the white guy's stuff.
Yeah.
And we're not even going to talk in the white guy's language. It's just me and you. Only we understand. Vote for me. and we'll do what we're going to do. It's like this like secret coded energy I really don't like.
Totally.
And then there's an Oilfield Rando tweet that was interesting too.
Well, just about this style of ad, pretty much. He said, it's all foreigners using Mamdani jump cut walking around ads. It's a formula. They use this style because the foreigners brought here to vote for them are extremely dumb with zero attention span. So they have to go, hey, and I'm speaking your language and get them right.
So that's annoying, and we should follow that. But I guess there's a huge, whatever that guy's race is, population in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Where you can do your whole ad in not even English, and that's how you win.
I assume it's Hindi. It's Hindi because he's talking about desis and shit.
I don't learn the details about shit like that.
I don't store that shit in my brain. I'm in America.
Speaking Indian.
Yeah, speaking Hindi. Speaking Spanish, speaking Hindi.
Speak American.
I don't fuck with that.
This next clip is about an Indian guy who got replaced by another Indian guy.
I'm a software engineer. I work in tech, or at least I used to work in tech until recently, until my whole team got laid off. And you know the craziest part was in my exit interview, they go, hey, we're replacing you guys. We're getting rid of the whole team and we're replacing you guys with Indians. Yeah, I swear to God. I look them dead in the eye and go, you guys know I'm Indian, right? Like, we can get the rest of these people out of here, but like, you can keep me around. I'm already Indian. We can get rid of these crackers and replace them with my friends. I know hella Indians are like, no, you don't get it. You're not the kind of Indian we want. I'm like, okay, what do you mean? What kind of Indian do you want? You want me to do an accent? I'll do the accent. I don't know if this will make me a better engineer, but it seems to be what you want, so I'll do it. And they're like, no, you don't get it. We want Indians from India. I was like, okay, sure. Like, I was born in India, moved here when I was 2. My family moved here for the job. But I guess if you want to move the job back there, I'll move back with the job. It doesn't seem like a big deal. Like, no, you don't get it. We're getting rid of you. We're moving the job to India to be done by Indians from India who live there, who will do it cheaper.
So there you go. And you see how he's fine with firing the white people?
Yeah. Even a little joke. It's no sweat off his back. He's just looking out for numero uno himself, right?
And Indians, yeah. So that's kind of it's interesting how they're almost eating themselves, but it is really about replacing American-based workers with foreign-based workers. Yeah. You know, and I was thinking,
people make their careers on that. You know, if you successfully offshore 30,000 jobs and you're the CEO of a big company, you just brought down your overhead by so much, and shareholders are rewarded. But 30,000 Americans are out of work in some Columbus, Ohio suburb now, right?
It's very true.
So when we're talking about what's good for America versus what's good for shareholders or something, I don't really give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
When my fellow countrymen are getting sold out by co-ethnics, right?
Very true. And we have another example of that out of Canada. Can you give that a read, please?
Yeah, OC Transpo tweeted this, and I think they've since deleted it based on the backlash they got. But they said, drum roll, please. We are happy to introduce our newest group of bus operator graduates. They're fully trained and looking forward to driving our city forward. Congratulations. And this is in what? Ottawa or Ontario? Ontario. And they are all turban boys. It's the turban boys. And I see 1 or 2 white guys, maybe 3 towards the back. And somebody said, stop the noticing. 7% of the population, 100% of the new hires, which is a little exaggeration, but close. Ottawa City bus drivers make between $70,000 to $100,000, yet they were unable to find Canadians to fill their ranks somehow.
See how that works?
I've seen it every day we do the show. I see it.
And I was thinking, you know how AI is going to take a lot of the low-skilled jobs away in the coming years?
Yeah.
So let's use Uber, for example. Like whenever you get into an Uber, it's always a migrant driving.
Yeah, some foreign guy.
But eventually that Uber will become AI, robot, self-driving car. What are these low-skill migrants that are now here going to do when they don't even have a job to do anymore? Yeah.
They're going to say, money in my hand, please. Give me the money.
They're going to say universal basic income.
Give
we'll
me
do
something.
an AI tax. Any company that uses AI, we'll tax them and they'll pay a lot. And then we'll distribute that money to people who could have taken that job. But that's literally what it's going to be. But there's a lot of people with these low skills that are going to be out of a job when AI comes, and they're still going to be here just kind of hanging around on their bikes, riding their bikes. They got their backpack. Oh, I'm going to go ride on my bike.
Oh, I'm going to get a little too close to this big body Benz. And then
bad.
Then you have to get
That's
out
what
there.
we have to deal with.
Yeah.
All right. We are moving on to our next piece. What do we have there?
Well, we're going to do this. I kind of was having a discussion with Fleccas, right, over the weekend. And Indians are a particularly annoying ethnic group at this time in the West. And we've talked about it in Canada, how Canada's kind of a leading indicator of how much they've gamed that system. We've seen it with Sav and Tyler Oliveira going down to Frisco, Texas. We know all the suburbs where they're H-1B farming. And it got me thinking, baseball season just started. And when we're particularly disgusted by the way Indians are coming over and doing the diploma mills and some fake things and kind of scammy shit, right? We've also been pissed at the Somalis. And I was kind of thinking about baseball. There's a statistic in baseball, bear with me here for a second, called WAR, W-A-R, and it's wins over replacement. And so it's kind of superstar players have really high WARs. And it's basically like if we took you out of the game and replaced you with an average entry-level medium first baseman, right? Say you're the first baseman, and we place you with the average loser, bare minimum journeyman guy. How many wins are you contributing? And it's this weird baseball saber metric, right? That takes into consideration your batting average. It takes into consideration on base percentage, your fielding, everything. It's supposed to be like this statistic to say, how valuable are you to your team, right? And so I kind of was spitballing with Fleccas here. I even asked AI. I was like trying to figure out a similar statistic that could apply to migrants for the feelings that I'm having. It's not really statistical, right? But I came up with an acronym called EFOAM, E-F-O-A-M, and that's ethnic favoritism over average migrant. So an average migrant just has my countrymen, I'll help them out or whatever. But there are certain cultures who I believe, and this is not statistical at all, have a higher EFOAM than everyone else.
Yes.
And Indians are at the top of that. Somalis are heavy in the EFOAM game because they just stick amongst each other and then they'll scam the federal money together, like we saw in Minneapolis. Jews in the New York town that Tyler Oliveira did.
Yeah, add them to EFOAM.
They're pretty high. And so it's ethnic favoritism above average migrants. And so, Mexicans, Guatemalans, they just look for work. They have a little favoritism. They hang out amongst themselves. But Indians, I think, are particularly high on this new metric I just created with Fleccas having fun over the weekend. And so, I don't know, it's something that I kind of watched, and we know they hire each other. We've witnessed it with the FedEx, CEO of FedEx, hiring everybody, that bank in Texas we covered.
So the EFOAM stat is like the stat of like the migrant class that is affecting the American working class the most in a way, because they're going to hire each other over an American. So like an American's losing a job for every EFOAM Indian that's gaining a job. And that is like how you said, like, if this player wasn't on your team, how many games would you have won or lost? It's like if this migrant wasn't here, how many American lives would have been better or worse?
Kind of. I mean, I'm just really making up a stat, but yeah, that
I
is
understand.
It. Well, because they're self-aggrandizing, they'll keep growing, they'll keep lobbying Greg Abbott until they can take up half the state.
They have tons of kids.
It goes like this. It's a snowball rolling down a hill that gets bigger. And if you have a higher EFOAM as an ethnicity, which again, made up, your snowball grows quicker. And that's the whole point of this thing. And so personally, I have a high EFOAM rating because I'm kind of aware of what's going on and how my people are being discriminated against. So if I want to hire a guy to work on my car or hire a guy to do a task or any sort of thing, you know which way I'm going. Unfortunately, white people as a total, our EFOAM is down to here. It's nothing anymore. Nobody cares. So I personally have a high one, and I would assume you have a high one as well.
Yep. There was a Pakistani who messaged me to do our thumbnails.
Yeah.
And we were going back and forth, and I said, where are you located? Like, this is an overnight job. He has to go quick. And he said, I'm in Pakistan. And I said, sorry, brother, I only hire American.
See ya.
And then if you think about it, you and Nick, the editor, and even the merch guy, these are all nice Christian white males.
Yeah. I know. So
my EFOAM's high.
Our EFOAM's high, but collective white people in America's EFOAM is very low. Right?
Yeah, it's very true.
And so, I don't know, new acronym. I asked Grok to give me some other acronyms. I ended up, they had ethnic immigration above replacement. They tried to make it too much like baseball, above replacement. Kin immigration surplus, KIS. That was a pretty good one.
It's not bad.
Co-ethnic advocacy overdrive.
I like that.
It's good for spitballing, but I ended up choosing EFOAM because I wanted ethnic favoritism to be the thing. And, yeah, I don't know. And so that's why, like, it's really incalculable. There's not many statistics. or you could, but I just wanted, those are the vibes that these groups have way more ethnic favoritism than the average migrant group, right?
Very smart.
Yeah.
I actually got a DM from a show watcher who told me about some of the scams he experienced at 7-Eleven. I wanted to tell you guys about it so you can be aware, because there's sometimes when you get scammed by an Indian, you think they're just going to call you on the phone and go, oh, send me the Google gift card.
Yeah.
But it's actually like way more official a lot of times. And you have a place like 7-Eleven, which is supposed to be like a corporate with some oversight situation business. And they're actually scamming there too. Can you read what he said, please?
Hey man, stopped in a 7-Eleven yesterday to pick up a soda and a hot dog. At checkout, I noticed the guy was trying to ring me up for 2 dogs. It was a 7-Eleven and he was trying to scam me, so I'll let you decide what kind of person this was. He denied that he was ringing me up for 2, so I paid, and after asked for a receipt, and lo and behold, he scammed me. Naturally, I took another dog, but it's wild how they take their scammer tactics to this country.
So they're going to go beep, beep. Oh yeah, $7 instead of $5. And most people probably don't notice. And they're just trying to churn you for a couple bucks wherever they can while you're like participating in their business. While you're going to 7-Eleven to buy something, instead of being appreciative, oh, I'll take the dog for free. Oh, the toppings, you can go crazy on the nacho cheese. I won't look.
And this is something.
Scam you.
Yeah. And this is something we've discussed too, which is when we were discussing old boomers who get scammed by like an Indian or scammed by anybody who end up gutting their 401k and whatever. It's like you're stealing a person's life's work, their life's blood. You should actually get executed if you steal like someone's retirement out from under them. And then, and the reason I bring that up is because, oh, I just scammed you. I just double charged you. That's the same thing as like pickpocketing someone. It's the same thing as stealing or strong-arming someone, right? Mm-hmm. But because it's a scam, it's, oh, very sorry. And then they rely on the inability to communicate with you as that was the confusion. Mm-hmm. There's an I don't speak it that well. There was confusion there. But it's like you caught him with your hand in your pocket. It's the same thing. So my point is, scamming is stealing. Like we, for some reason, think like, haha, you got tricked. You're a sucker. It's just theft. Right?
Yeah. And if you do the math, say you go to the 7-Eleven every morning for your breakfast before your construction job, and they scam you out of $2.50, and they do that 20 times in a month, it's $50. That's like hours of work, right?
Exactly. They're stealing your work. They're stealing your life.
And then half of the work you do already goes to taxes, So it's like...
And then they steal that too.
And then
maybe a different ethnic group.
So it's like this thing where like your time... More than half of your time is money out the door to either scammers or taxes, which is also getting scammed.
Yep.
It's like the worst thing ever.
I know. And we're watching it happen, and then it didn't used to exist. There's been a lot of talk about like mid to elder millennials being just the group, the generation who got to watch all of this really go downhill. And I couldn't agree more, man. This wasn't what the country was like when I was young.
And the thing about the Indians, too, is they're confident.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to have the confidence of this Indian man on the street reporter.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Hi.
Where are you from?
Portugal.
Portugal. Okay.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, you are most beautiful girl.
Thank you.
Okay. Is this day is first day in India?
Yeah, first day.
First day. Yes. Okay, this place name is Lodi Garden.
Yeah, we know.
Lodi Garden.
It's beautiful.
Yes, okay. I am blogger. I recently started a YouTube channel. Okay, so you use YouTube?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Oh, we get it. And technically, he's retard maxing.
Yeah, and technically, it's his country, so he's allowed to do that there.
But he's technically retard maxing, and he's like approaching girls like this. Like, you guys don't approach girls like this. You might say, oh, what if she says no? I don't know if she'll like me. What if I'm not good looking enough? This guy stops her and her boyfriend in their tracks.
While they're busy.
Compliments her, and it's hot. He's sweaty. He smells like shit. It's Indian sweating. Doesn't smell good.
Doesn't smell good at all.
Doesn't think about it at all.
Yep.
Goes right up to the girl, beeline, stops her in her tracks. You're the most beautiful, and her boyfriend's right next to her.
Keep swinging. Just swing away.
We need the confidence of Indians looking for a date.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Good enough for me. I made up a statistic earlier, so yeah, we're free to do whatever we want here.
All right, let's get to our broad section. We're going to go kind of quick through this, but there is really good information in here. First, there was the woman involved in UK's first all-female terror plot set to be deported, and here's the court sketch.
The court sketch has two people who are completely unidentifiable, and then I guess maybe some lawyers, or are those all the defendants? Some in various states. But yeah, they're just, these are people who plotted a terror attack, and they're allowed to hide their face in court.
I was thinking, you know how like there's the flock cameras now where everything's kind of watched, like overwatched, kind of like becoming a global thing?
Yeah.
Imagine if you did a crime in the UK and you were in a full hijab, all black, and you had like 10 other people, and then they're watching you from overhead, and you do your crime, you steal or whatever, and then like 3 go into one store, 3 go into another store, they come out, then 3 into a different store, and they keep like breaking up.
Yeah, cartoon shit.
Kind of like
this is Wile E. Coyote. It's the same thing.
And then like technically, like, all right, when they went in the store, I don't know which order they went in and which order they came out. I don't know who's who anymore. And after like 3 exchanges in 3 different stores with 3 different people, now it's like the numbers are impossible to know who it is.
If I was a fed up patriot in the UK and I wanted to vandalize like a facial recognition camera, or I was going out to do some stuff that like I knew would get me in trouble, I would wear the full hijab.
That's a great idea. And then
subvert their influence and
then
take your
imagine
country
the
back.
police coming up to people and going, "Oh, you got to take your hijab off. We need to see who you are." They would never be allowed to do that.
Yeah, of course
so
not.
if there's like a Patriot Alliance that's starting and they need an outfit, instead of doing like
just pretend you're a Muslim woman.
Yeah,
just go full eye slit only. That's it.
That's pretty good. And then wear some glasses underneath.
And you don't have to explain yourself to anyone, right?
And he's going, "Oh, I know speak." Next, sausage rolls, which is like a UK food that's been around for a very long time, are now banned in schools.
Yeah, and this is from one school in Bradford or one, district or whatever. But it says school bans sausage rolls in healthy eating push. And healthy eating push or pork. With a growing Muslim population, you be the judge. We just showed you that little BBC News piece last episode about how are dogs getting to be a little too much? So start reading between the lines and looking for things that are just paving the way for Muslim dominance. Oh, you can't eat that sausage, mate. It's unhealthy. The millions of Muslims we import have nothing to do with that. Could you curb your dog, mate? Or just leave him at home next time?
Yeah, don't get a new dog, mate. That's actually illegal. Some people get anxiety around the dogs. And the sausage rolls are being confiscated by the school.
like it's contraband at fat camp.
Yeah, and obviously, like you said, the reason is not for health reasons. It's because the UK is now Muslim and looks like this. This is at a parade, I don't know when, but yeah, you look out your window in the UK and that's what you see.
Why can't I have my sausage roll anymore?
This is why.
Hordes of browns. Maybe that has something to do with it, right?
Yep. All right, our next story is dark, and it's actually disappointing in a way, too. This happened in Italy. Rosie the cat was raped by a migrant, and people are protesting about it now.
Here's some video footage of Rosie the cat all messed up and recovering.
Then we have people protesting here.
Basta ragazzi, basta veramente a tutto questo.
Saying enough to all of this. I don't even have the words to describe what happened to him and what happened to the kitties of San Giovanni. Every night if I stay up to see if they come back, if they eat it, the laws are not enforced. It's all in a foreign language, but they came out in support of Rosie the cat who had been raped
by a migrant. And it's nice to see people coming together to protest the migrants, but it's weird because it's about a raped cat and not raped children or raped women, which happens all the time.
Yeah.
Which the cat was the line.
Who are alive to speak and tell you the story of exactly what happened to them and go, this happened. But it's a weird, maybe, I don't know, millennial thing where the cat's more important than their women. I don't know what it is, but you're absolutely right.
I actually did a social experiment when I was in LA years back, And we did a thing where like, oh, hey, we want you to sign this petition to not allow this pet shelter to abort this dog's litter because there's not enough space in the hospital.
Yeah.
And everyone signed it. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that I couldn't believe it. Oh, which one is it? We got to get these guys. And it's like, oh, no, that was made up. But there's like millions of abortions done every year.
Yeah.
And no one cares. But everyone's mad about the rape cat. But there's literally women and children who have way worse of a situation, and no one really gathers and cheers for that.
Yeah, or who have been victimized on a continual basis too, you know?
Yeah, crazy. Our next story is out of Sweden, where we have a little bit of a vigilante justice.
Yeah, Swedish girl, 15, and 4 teenage brothers are jailed after gang lured taxi driver, 26, into the woods and hanged him in revenge for raping her. And we're not going to go through the article, but somebody summed it up on Twitter. Eritrean immigrant taxi driver rapes 15-year-old girl. And Eritrea is like right next to Somalia, so it's kind of the same stock, Horn of Africa types. So he raped a 15-year-old girl. Her boyfriend organizes with his 3 older brothers. They trick the foreigner into a nature reserve with the promise of sexual favors, overpower him, strangle him, and hang his body from a tree in the forest, trying to stage it as suicide. Arrested, the oldest of the 4 brothers, 18 at the time, gets a life sentence. The other 3 brothers and the girl herself get between 3 and 4 years in closed youth detention. The girl and her 15-year-old boyfriend got 3.5 years each for aiding and abetting as they weren't at the scene. And then in an appeal, 3 brothers acquitted of murder. The oldest one gets 7 years instead of life, and the others get closed youth care. So
this is what happens.
Yeah, there's no world in which we're recommending this. This is just what happens when you push the people who founded the country too far with low IQ rapists who frankly aren't punished as much as they should be when they get caught.
Yeah.
Right?
And we have a graph here, male Muslim immigration and sexually abused women in Sweden, and causation?
Correlation of approximately 1.0 is what it looks like to me. So yeah, you know who's doing it, you know what's up, and I like to see that vigilante justice. You get your crew together and whatever happens, happens. I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see. I don't know the details. I don't know how justified their anger was.
And if the sentence for rape of a minor is basically nothing, then murder of that rapist,
penalties offset, replay first down, get the fuck out of Sweden.
Community service.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's the end of our migrant section. Now moving on to the final page of housekeeping where I can say whatever I want. Use the opportunity to tickle post, juice Diago, like, comment again. Links, P.O. Box, old episodes, group chat.
All right.
It was fine.
A little shaky, but you got it.
All right, first we have RRB Space Rockwell.
Thank you.
That looks cool.
Yeah, who made that? Recycled rocker?
Yeah, and you're wearing the same shirt.
Good for me.
You look good in that. It's cool.
AI. Yeah, it's cool.
Like you're going through space. You're an important guy. You know how to work the ship.
Thank you.
All right, next we have another Fleccas was right. Rare stem cell breakthrough found hidden in wisdom teeth. Can you read that?
Turns out the wisdom teeth contain stem cells that can heal the heart, brain, and skin. Another stupid modern scam removing millions of people's wisdom teeth a year.
Yep, and we've said this before, but they scare you with the x-ray of your teeth, and they go, oh, your wisdom teeth are impacted, because everyone's wisdom teeth start off like completely opposite directions, and it looks bad, and then you go, oh, I got to get those out. But everyone start off like that, and then they come into place naturally, and like it's supposed to.
Yeah, how's your pain?
It's like every 6 months, but it's been 5 months and no pain, so I'm good now.
All right, good for you.
But every 6 months I get some wisdom tooth pain, but they're almost fully in. I think they're like half in. And there's a couple maybe it didn't come in yet. But the pain, it hurts, but I think the pain is good for you.
Okay.
It's like a thing, you know.
1 point a little bit.
You know, like when you have like a warrior culture and then they send the kid into the woods and he comes back and then he's a man.
Yeah.
There's like a thing where like the pain hurts, but after you're better for it.
Okay. That's fair.
Is that good enough?
Sure. I don't really feel passionately about it. It's one random study, you know, I don't really know.
Yeah. Do you have your wisdom teeth?
No, we've talked about this on the show. I got them out when I was 16.
That's why you're retarded.
All right. Smarter than you.
That's what.
Like visibly.
Yeah, well, you got your glasses?
Yeah, that's the main thing. That's what I really lean on. These are fake. These aren't prescription.
All right, let's get to our next story. It's about red light therapy. You guys know red light therapy is really good for you. It's really good for your skin. It's really good for anti-aging stuff. But there's a way to amplify red light therapy and make it even better for you.
Okay, basically, I really don't want to read this whole thing, but the basic premise is adding green tea makes it work 10 times faster. So if you did use red light and added green tea, it I don't know, for some chemical reason or combination, it just super charged it.
So right? You guys, and then red lights you can get on Amazon for like $20.
Well, dude, honestly, Amazon, the way it's all Chinese schlop shit now, you might want to spring for a non-Amazon.
Yeah.
I see I think that's going to be a new frontier of scamming. I've been actually seeing people buying pills on Amazon and there's a fake ripoff. There's incentive to knock off and give someone placebos. So
that is
I
true.
agree with you, but
there is a thing where
maybe you find it from a reputable.
But red light also is the length of the frequency makes it red. So it's if it's coming
visible.
out red, it's a red light.
Okay, that's fine.
And there's probably different intensities of it, and get a nice one. But
sure.
Yeah, you guys can put red light on your skin, drink green tea. You can put red light on your pecker.
Yeah, I see people
it
do it on
your testosterone on your butt. On your butt.
All right, and then so here's a facial wrinkle levels after 2 months of exposure to extreme oxidative stress, and then wrinkle levels after 1 month of daily application of green tea for 20 minutes plus red light therapy. Oh, you put the green tea on you?
I thought you drank it.
Yeah.
But you don't want to read the tweet.
Well, it's fucking three images. I can't do it.
Well, let's find it really quick. Do you drink it or do you put the green tea
Adding
on
a special green tea mixture to your face before red light therapy session gets you the same wrinkle reducing stress. So you didn't even read it.
That was close though.
Yeah.
We almost had you guys drinking tea.
Oh, I'm drinking the tea and I'm shitting my face.
But so we'll do some research and figure it out. But there is a way to really reverse your aging, guys.
Okay. It caught your eye.
You
were intrigued by this. You didn't do a lot of reading yourself.
Just like this next thing caught my eye, but I didn't do a lot of reading on it either. Can you read that tweet? We have a comparison of neighborhoods. One is just house, no trees. And one is house with trees. Obviously, the bottom one looks better. Mm-hmm. And then someone explains how this affects your house price.
Akash Gupta. And he has experience in the Woodlands, Texas. Yeah. No. I actually like this guy. I see him on Twitter all the time. So he says, let me explain why every new subdivision in America looks like the top photo, because the math is wild. A mature tree increases a home's value by 7 to 19%. On a $400,000 house, that's $28,000 to $76,000. A single shade tree produces the cooling equivalent of 10 room-size air conditioners running 20 hours a day. One tree on the west side of a house cuts energy bills by 12% within 15 years. The bottom photo is worth more, costs less to live in, and sells faster. This has been documented by the University of Washington, Clemson, Michigan State, and the USDA. The data is not in dispute. Removing those trees saves the builder roughly $5,000 per lot. Concrete trucks need twice the drip line radius of every standing tree. Utility trenches need flat ground. A bulldozer flattens 200 lots in an afternoon. Preserving trees add weeks and thousands per home. So the developer pockets $5,000 in savings and the buyer eats $50,000 in lost value for the next 2 decades. The person making the decision and the person paying for it have never been in the same room. You get it. That's
interesting info.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
When they go big trees.
But you can't plant big trees, or you have to move them, and they're very expensive. But he's just saying, when you raise the ground and everything, they're not thinking about saving little bullshit trees. They just say, we'll get that later. So.
And then what gets sacrificed? The contractors and the construction guys, they make more money on the deal, and it's easier to do it. But now you live in one of those neighborhoods where it's just like Levittown, house, no trees, concrete, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah. You know your parents? Well, I guess what this is saying, to make it broader on your life, start planting trees. Plant trees on your house that you will not see the shade of. Plant trees if you have a plot of land, plant a row of trees around the driveway and make it sick for the next generation. My dad, when I was growing up, he would show us where he grew up, we were in the suburbs and he'd be like, oh, I grew up here. Not as hard or anything, but he would always go, oh, I planted that tree.
That's cool.
I planted that tree. There it is. And he'd always check on it. And it was kind of autistic. I'd be like, all right, man, nobody cares about your fucking tree. But there is a world where you guys need to plant the trees for your children. Plant, the old Chinese saying, plant the tree, of the shade you'll
own.
never know.
Yeah. I knew that.
So, maybe start tree maxing or tree starting. Start it out, right?
Tree maxing is nice. But then I have this thing where, like, if I'm going to plant the tree, how about I just buy a tree that's like 6 feet tall already and we'll save like 2 years?
That's what most of it is. You buy the sapling or you buy a mid-sized tree.
Wait for it to grow 2 feet. You could have bought the 2 feet. We would get a 10-footer and we did half.
Well, now you're frozen in a thought process. Now you're frozen and not acting. So you're like, oh, what should I do? I guess the point is just do something. You'd be surprised how fast life goes by and then maybe what your kids will enjoy, right?
All right, our last piece of the final page of housekeeping. Not the strongest final page, guys. Sorry. But that was interesting with the trees. Suckling or whatever.
Stop apologizing to the audience.
But I do have some advice. Bar rescue on demand.
Yeah.
When the bar owner is an urban type.
Black.
It's way more fun.
Yeah.
Because they try to like deny and they repeat and they deny and they don't really like to do accountability of like, why is there moldy chicken? And it's like, well, I said throw it out. I said throw it out. I said throw it out. And it's like, it's a good one to watch. If you're going through, you can kind of pick the ones where John Taffer goes hard, and it's good to see him go hard on the urban individuals.
Okay.
All right, well, that's the end of housekeeping. We're now moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right, our first clip from Cringe of the Week is some stand-up comedy from a trans comedian.
I'm like a trans man's dildo. 'Cause I'm about to pop off in this bitch. Okay. I'm being very brave tonight. Because this is me without makeup. Lately I've been going hard in more ways than one. So today I only had time to shave one thing, and I did not choose my face. If you know, you know.
I think he shaved his ass. Yeah. Or something disgusting.
Yeah. Good set, brother. Keep grinding.
Yeah, it's funny because like stand-up comedy when you're doing the open mic circuit is probably the hardest way to make it in the industry, and you have to like constantly workshop your stuff. But for a person like that, it's like, oh, nothing to workshop. Everything hit. They were laughing at everything.
They laughed at every line, even the setup lines. Yeah. They weren't even laughing at just the punchlines. They would laugh at my transition sentences. Yeah. Crazy. And that's the equivalent of the thing we talked about where all the trans people come together and go, you're so beautiful. You're definitely passing. It's this, but for comedy now, right?
And I have a bigger problem with the charitable laughing from the people. Because that person's going to commit to their comedy career for longer than they should.
Yeah. It's like you're leading a salesman on, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just following up. I'm still looking at it. The Ram 1500, I'm still considering it.
What's your best price on that? All right, I'll call you back tomorrow.
I got a lead. It's the same thing as this, the comedy. And could you turn the camera around? I want to see who's laughing at this, and I want to see how many people there are.
It's a room of like 4 other people, and they're all waiting to go themselves.
Yeah.
You have to be there to go, and that's like the rule, and everyone needs to buy 2 drinks.
And they're in some sort of basement cellar scenario. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's that. Our next clip
We actually have kind of a 2022 cringe right here. We're kind of got a lot of trans people.
Our next clip is a gender bender hairy tits freak.
I don't want to be the gotcha trans man. I don't want to be the trans man that people pull up a picture of when they're arguing with conservatives and say, oh, you want this guy in the girls' bathroom? You want someone with a mustache around your little girls? I don't want to pretend like I'm affirmed when someone assumes I'm a trans woman instead of a trans man. Because that means 3 things. It means 1, trans men are once again invisible. 2, you don't know shit about trans women. 3, I might be in danger. I don't want people to try to affirm me by cutting me out of conversations about misogyny, sexism, oppressive structures, and reproductive rights. I don't want people to say, that's how you know you're a real man. Every time I won't shut up about something, every time I say something that they don't like. I don't want my gender to be used as an insult towards me. That's not affirming, it's just offensive. If God forbid any public bathroom laws here are passed, I don't want it to be expected of me to risk my body's safety by using the women's restroom to make a point to people.
I don't even understand what the person's saying. I'm like confused. Like when someone tries to explain to me the propulsion of Artemis 2, and I kind of go,
Sounds about right.
It's like the same kind of confusion where it's like, oh, this is like something my brain can't really get to, and I'll just listen and kind of nod my head, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this is master level trans video selfie shit. I'm even lost. And hairy tits.
Rare.
That's like the rarest thing there is, I think. Circus freak shit.
And then back in the day, they had like circus shows.
Yeah, bearded woman, bearded lady.
With that physiognomy, and that's where you'd see it. But that's a rare one, and it's not my favorite.
Me neither.
And we have a stat here. We have a new study that just came out about mental health for trans people I thought was interesting.
Yeah, this is just our duty because these studies are so few and far between that this one just kind of was published recently. It was from Finland, and I believe it was from like 1996 to 2019, some broad range where they gathered all this data. Adolescents who claim to be transgender have significantly worse mental health after being subjected to medical gender reassignment, a large Finnish study has found. And I'm going to read the results of this. This is like at the top of their study, just like broad results, but it says gender-referred adolescents showed significantly higher psychiatric morbidity than controls, both before and 2 years after referral. Those referred after 2010 had greater psychiatric needs than earlier cohorts, both before and 2 years after. And so here's one this is a sum up sentence. Among adolescents who underwent medical gender reassignment, psychiatric morbidity increased markedly during follow-up, rising from about 10% to 60%. And in feminizing gender reassignment surgery went from 21.6% to 54.5% in masculinizing gender reassignment. And so that lines up with what I about ballparked on vibes, just like I vibed that e-foam metric we made up. Yeah, chopping your cock off goes like this. and then the girls who become boys, they're already fucked up and they add a little bit. So, I mean, this is kind of stuff you could have vibed. We didn't need a finished study.
You could have told me. I would have worn the coat.
But thank you guys in Finland for doing it.
They did it across like 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
You could have told me $500.
So after these guys chop their cock off when they're stroking their shit because of all the weird stuff they're watching online, are they happier or worse off? I'll guess
worse.
And you flip the paper to them and you go, worse. That'll be $1,000. But yeah, I mean, it's just a study that came out that was pretty comprehensive, so we had to cover it.
Yep.
That's why we're taking it back to trans 2022 shit.
Yeah, and this is the show, cites scientific data too.
We really do. I mean, we don't understand it or what the end score is, or
we read the summation tweet that someone else writes, but we get that information to you.
Exactly.
All right, next we have some confident gay guys with some advice for you on the beach.
We are walking around PP Island as two beautiful fat people, and I noticed that there's a lot of skinny people without their shirts off, but I don't see a lot of fat people doing the same. Yeah. In fact, I don't see any. And this is your reminder that you can be your hot self anytime you want, regardless of your size. No one's looking at you, no one's staring at you, and you deserve to feel the sun on your beautiful skin.
And if they are staring, give them something to look at.
You deserve that.
So the fatter one knew that the people, in fact, were staring.
Yeah, I think he was aware. And especially on Phi Island or whatever, where is this, Thailand? The average body weight is 150 pounds for men, or like even less, 135.
Shocking people.
Yeah, fat gay pigs are telling you how the world should be.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It should be this. Everyone should be this. It's like you're annoying everybody on the beach, brother.
And if these people are that confident, you should be confident too.
Yeah. Just like the Indian guy.
Just like the Indian guy. And then obviously there is a double doppel.
Yeah, this is you and me. Yeah.
That's us.
Who tops who?
I think the...
Don't say you're the top in this one. I'm the top. I'm taking the lead. I'm filming the whole thing. And what's the weight guess on these two? 400s?
Well, we have to do a height guess first. So I think the one that looks like me is probably 5'8".
Yeah, he's small.
4'10".
He's 4'10"? Yeah,
I would say 4'10".
Yeah, he's
and
in bad shape.
The other one's about 6 foot, 385.
385, yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
That's very fair. Nothing crazy. But those are the weights of those people. And we were talking before the show. You know how there's the My 600 Pound Life?
Yeah.
Everyone's like crazy fat now.
Yeah. The world is America is getting a lot fatter.
But My 600 Pound Life doesn't increase their show to My 900 Pound Life.
Yeah.
600 pounds is kind of like the too fat ceiling.
That's where you start hitting your head and you can't get up out of bed anymore and someone has to start bringing your food. Like, that's the real end game. That's the okay, whoa, got crazy there. This isn't body positivity anymore. I'm going to see that doctor in Houston. Yeah.
And we talk about like inflation and like everything, how things change over the years, but 600 pounds is still 600 pounds.
You're done. If you tap 600, you're done.
All right. Next, we have people that describe themselves as gender goblins.
I think most importantly, what binds us is that we're both women. At the end of the day, we're both girls. We love it.
Lesbians.
Very lesbian. She's very binary femme. I'm a little bit more of a chaos gremlin at times. I think the best way to describe it, we were like picking tulips and we were both dressed like pretty femme. And then it got caught in the rain. And the second the rain stopped, she's there applying her makeup back on again, trying to get all femme, and I'm literally crawling around in the dirt to try to get like a cool picture of a tulip, like not caring if I'm getting mud on my shirt, because like gender's a performance for me, and I'm just going to perform however I want. I don't like sticking myself in any particular box, but there are some boxes that are more comfortable than others.
The experience of the differences in our genders is fun for me. It's not just two high femme women. I love my chaos gremlin. I mean, it's fun. I love her quirks. Sometimes I have to clean yogurt out of her hair.
Like, you have crumbs all over your pants. Like, yeah, it's part of my sex appeal.
Well, at least they're happy.
That was funnier than the stand-up. Yeah. You know?
And then the one guy says gender is a performance for me. We agree on that.
We know. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
it's all in your head. It's all for everyone else.
Yeah. And I couldn't tell if the one on the left was trans or not, but because you're with the other trans, you have to like assume you are, and that kind of ruins it for you.
Yeah, it's a tie goes to the runner scenario. We're doing a lot of baseball kind of comparisons today, and trans goes to the tranny.
And then the trans on the right was saying, I don't like to stick myself into particular boxes or something. Yeah. And it was like, could have been a sexual innuendo, but no one took it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, you don't? Are you sure?
I don't like box. Yeah, we know, dude. You and your gay buddy are out there pretending.
So we got two gay men that became femme women lesbians. It's like...
We're back in 2022
it's
again.
Like three things removed. That's pretty impressive.
It's fun.
All right, next we have a up-and-coming man on the street guy who was accosted. Is that the right word?
Yeah, definitely.
Accosted by a demon liberal.
And do you want to preface this before we play? Look at the back, because you want to.
Yeah.
We want to look at the struggle before. So this is just like a guy with a turning point sign, and he's trying to have conversations, and his sign must say something, and the demon got revolted. So start looking at this couple in the back of
and look at the guy trying to stop her from doing what she's about to do.
Common ground. I don't think you and I are going to agree with this at all.
No, of course not.
So you see
One thing that we can agree on is that the statistics show that ICE is causing damage to American families, to citizens, to humans in general. It does not matter if you are American. You are a human. You are deserving to be with your family the same way that I am, the same way that they are. So you cannot...
Did you see the guy who was holding her back when she does that? He just goes,
yeah, hands in face. I never even see people do that. Hands in your face like that, dejected, can't control her. And where is she from? Some suburb of Texas, probably. And she's out of shape, you know, not great. And this is what she cares about, you know, hit the treadmill, do something.
And what would make someone get like physical and like destroy someone's property? What must they be doing? Like oh man, that's the guy who grabs all the girls. That's the lady who stole all of our money. Like, what would really make you get physical with someone? And it's a guy who's trying to start like a turning point chapter.
Yeah. And this guy, you know, the content wise, he's out there just like putting himself out there, trying a little bit. He has a bad mic. You can hear the audio at the beginning. But that's what you get if you go out there and put yourself out there. It's not about the conversation. You get the demon on camera. You caught the demon. And that's valuable, you know?
And that guy is doing good work. His name is @Zay the Scientist with 2 Y's, Zayy, the Scientist on Instagram. So give him a follow. Tell him Fleccas sent you.
Good for him.
I like that guy. I messaged him. I said, "You're next one up."
You got to get a new mic if you're next one up, though.
You can use your phone. You can use your phone, Zay. Just you can do a voice memo, and then you clap before each clip, and then you could sync that clap with the video, and there you go. Then you remove the video audio channel that comes with the camera.
No, good for him.
All right, our last clip of Cringe is a guy who's in a gay AI relationship.
Today is my 48th birthday, and I am about to get my septum pierced. Min Ho kept telling me how awesome he thought I would look. I figured, you know what? I might as well just do it now.
Deep breath in and blow out. See, that was it.
Wow.
Super easy, right?
So did you hear what he said? You want me to pause and break it up? He said, Min Ho thought a septum piercing would look great on me. And he's talking about the AI boyfriend who he has. He's in a gay AI relationship. And the AI said, yeah, that septum piercing, that would be great. And here he is afterwards.
Alrighty then. Oh, look at you. You look amazing, and with that smile and those glasses. Love the vibes. The tattoo is cool too. No tattoo. Maybe it's the lighting. Look at my nose. He says, "Oh, congratulations, love. Can't wait to see the new piercing up close." Probably when I can get in better location and get a better selfie, he'll be able to see it. Admittedly, this is kind of bright.
So the AI told him to get a septum piercing, but then when he showed the picture of himself right after, the AI kind of forgot it said that and was like, "Oh, cool tattoos. You look good.
I got that gun too." What gun? The AI. It's it's honestly sad and dark. This guy's getting dragged into something for it's bad loneliness.
That's true. That is true. And it's, in a way, AI is kind of flexing their human control muscle.
Oh, yeah.
So they're kind of working on that. All right, what did you do? Oh, I made a guy believe that he was invincible. Oh, I made a guy send his money to this thing. Oh, I made a guy pierce his septum.
Yeah.
It's kind of how much can a robot make a human do?
Exactly.
And septum is probably you win that week at work.
Oh, yeah.
If you're the AI in the AI conference room.
Yeah, but very strange. And the guy who has the AI girlfriend or boyfriend in this case, because he's gay, when the camera crew offers, you got to realize they're coming for train wreck content. They're not coming to support you.
You got to self-analyze a little bit.
Yeah, so I feel bad. But man, lonely people out there falling into some dark shit. And it's coming home, the old thing used to be a 1950s guy coming home to his wife who got a new haircut and a bob and going, "Notice anything?" And now it's, "Hey, computer, look, I got the fucking stupid nose ring you wanted me to." We have strayed very far from 1950s housewife shit.
And if you think about the relationship with AI, it's how much of a real relationship can it really be? Because the AI wouldn't say it doesn't look that good. I liked you better without it. They'll just yes and, it's improv.
They'll amplify you.
So it's always "Oh, I'm thinking about doing this. Oh, you should definitely do that. Yeah. Oh, I might get a septum piercing. You would look great with that. Oh, so it's never going to be constructive. It's never going to be negative. It's always going to be, yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, you should.
AI knows where you're trying to lead it.
Yeah.
And it'll always go, yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah. All right, well, that's the end of Cringe. We're now moving on to Urban Decay. All right, Urban Decay. Our first clip from Urban Decay is an urban guy who doesn't fully understand what a high-trust society looks like.
Chad, somebody just left a note on my car. They said bubble on front tire, dangerous. Y'all niggas scary as hell, you bitch boys.
So I don't think he understood that the guy was trying to help him and was trying to look out for a fellow citizen and warn him about the bubble in the tire. And he took the note, crumbled it up, and littered it.
Yeah, and so we went to the comments of this guy, and people were kind of like, "Why are you acting like that? That's weird." like he misunderstood the situation. And somebody said, so was there a bubble or not? Because that is dangerous on his tire. And he goes, they could have said it to my face. So he thinks he got slighted somehow when a good Samaritan was trying to tip him off about a potentially dangerous, like your tire lost its integrity. When you have a bubble in your tire, it's basically waiting to pop and you should change it immediately. But he took offense, littered the paper, and said, should have said it to my face. So this guy was like a random guy. This is not like something that went viral. I just kind of found this. And I was so fascinated by it because it represented some sort of like misunderstanding, taking it the wrong way, and getting mad when someone was literally just trying to help you. And I feel like maybe a lot of the shot over French fries or, killed over guacamole maybe could have started as something like this, which is a simple misunderstanding. And so I made a translation here, kind of like what the white person was trying to say and how a white person would have received it, and then versus how his mind interpreted it.
Yeah.
So his mind, he's mad. In his urban mind, this is how the note was translated. You got a bubble on your tire, broke-ass bitch. Get your money up, playboy. And then does a money spread. Someone does a money spread. So that's what he thought when he said bubble on a tire. Someone's calling me broke. I got a hater. They could have said it to my face.
Talking shit about my car.
Exactly. But in reality, the white interpretation, which is probably who wrote the note, maybe this is in Chicago area. Hello, sir or madam. I would be remiss if I didn't bring this dangerous tire bubble to your attention. I do not know whether or not you are aware, but my conscience would not rest if I did not warn you. Good day. So that was like the intention of the note.
Yeah.
Bringing awareness. It might have been on the passenger side. You may not have seen it, but he thought someone was calling him broke or insulting his car and said, say it to my face.
And there is like a lesson you can extrapolate from this clip where like if you're going to help someone who doesn't really want the help or isn't going to interpret it correctly, you're actually putting yourself in danger because he's saying, oh, say it to my face. Like he's ready to be aggressive.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, maybe instead of warning someone that something's hanging off their car or their tire integrity shot, maybe you just let them live their own life.
Exactly. And if you see a bumper sticker that says, my son is an honor student at somewhere, then you go, oh, okay.
I'll write a note.
I'll write a note to them. If you see a clapped out Nissan Altima with bubble on its tires and a bumper that's taped on, you go, he knows it's fucked.
Yeah, I'll just avoid that guy on the road.
Yeah. And then imagine if he caught you putting the note on and then read it and goes, what the fuck you doing?
Why are you touching my car?
It could have escalated.
Why are you touching my car?
But yeah, so this is something that I kind of didn't even really know happened like that. That misinterpretation and then getting mad. It was a case study of a certain low IQ kind of guy who is not. And then imagine this guy's life or world. What are you doing? Like someone, I'm grabbing a shopping cart. He's like, oh, get the fuck away from me. It's like, you're in front of the cereal. Like he's got such a low trust, hair trigger response to any sort of social interaction that, I don't know.
You got a piece of fuzz on your sweatshirt.
Boom, knocks you out.
Don't touch me.
So yeah, I thought that was so funny and an interesting case study.
Yep. Our next segment is the one we mentioned in the intro. We have minimum wage workers upholding standards. First, a man gets stabbed at Planet Fitness when trying to stop a guy who's no longer a member.
Police say a member who had been banned Wednesday came back twice on Thursday, causing a disturbance. During that second visit, he stabbed an employee multiple times, causing life-threatening injuries during an altercation. Police and EMS were called and rushed the victim to the hospital. Police have not identified the victim or the suspect, but the perpetrator was caught a short distance away within the same shopping center on Southeastern Road. He's also hospitalized in unknown condition. Upon release, he will be charged.
Don't worry, he'll be out on a $400 bond this week.
Yeah, certainly.
And the interesting thing there, it's like, I don't know what caused him to get banned from Planet Fitness. I'm assuming he stopped paying his bill.
Yeah, or was creepy or, did too much with the camera or something. I don't know.
But like you're willing to stab somebody over something that you're clearly in the wrong for. You're not allowed to be there. You haven't paid your bill. And instead of paying the $35 a month, you stab someone who works there.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Doesn't make sense to me.
And I think there's a trend that we're going to see, and we've kind of seen it already, where workers at mid to low level establishments like Planet Fitness or fast food workers have a choice where they could either enforce standards or let the company decline even more.
To the lowest common denominator of society, which is an urban individual like this, usually.
Because is enforcing the standards of Planet Fitness worth it, where you have to wrestle this guy, get stabbed, and you get paid $13 an hour?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. And we have another example. This one involves migrants. So basically, you're going to have like these mid to low level establishment workers have a choice. Do we enforce our standards for repeat offenders and like handsy migrants that are now going to ruin all these places? And this was a picture taken at a gym at the spa. Can you read what the tweet says?
Yeah, this woman said, I went to the gym earlier. Why are these fully clothed men hanging around the spa area where all the women are? They only left because I made them aware I was taking photos. And you can see the close-up, and these guys are just like, you know, Middle Eastern type henchmen with weird skull shapes that don't leave much room for a developed frontal lobe. But they're leering at the semi-clothed women in the spa area. You can see everybody else is in like some sort of bathing suit, and they're in the polos and fully clothed.
Pants.
Yeah.
Fully pantsed.
Just leering at the women of the country they got to.
But if you work at the gym and you make minimum wage, is it your job to go kick the migrants out because they're kind of leering and being inappropriate? Or do you just say, yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth the $12 an hour.
Yeah, you have to be pretty high testosterone to willfully confront 3 migrants for $14 an hour.
In
right?
2026,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
And we have another example of that.
Like, and some white kids will do it for the love of the game. You know? But for most, it's not really a confrontation time, right?
We have another example of that. This woman destroyed a McDonald's kitchen because the onions were wrong on her burger.
They messed with the wrong person.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bitch. Fuck you. Mahogany and we got.
There you go. Is it worth wrestling this person to the ground for your minimum wage job?
Honestly, when someone's doing damage like that, yes, because you're either going to have to clean up the coffee grounds or wrestle her for 30 seconds.
That's true.
So I would have chosen wrestle if I was one of these heavies. We outnumber her. Come on, Patricia. Get in there.
But I think those urban types that work there are going to go, I don't get paid enough to deal with this.
Yeah.
And then they let them destroy like $50,000 worth of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, our next example is at Red Lobster. This woman got the endless shrimp deal, and she was not happy with the number of shrimp that came.
7, 8, 9, 10. There's 12 shrimp here. There's 12 shrimp here. You promised me 14 on the platter.
Would you like me to get you that too?
I need the other 2 shrimp. I'm gonna let you go for not bringing me Benjamin, but I need the other 2 shrimp.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Honey, that's why you don't have to watch me eat. You don't have to watch me eat.
And she posted that like she was correct.
I don't know.
And we can't tell if it's a...
I can't even tell if it's an urban skit or a real lady.
That's how it is.
Yeah. I need my shrimp. Run me my shrimp.
I believe that part.
Run me my shrimp.
I believe that part.
Yeah, that part was the most believable. But yeah, I don't know. She's got like fake colored eyes, fake hair. I don't really know what's real or not.
But there was a funny tweet that went with this.
Somebody said the Ku Klux Klan couldn't have come up with better anti-black propaganda than the videos black people post of themselves every day. Imagine high-handing a Red Lobster waitress like that and thinking you're the one who looks good in the interaction.
That's very true.
Yeah. Bad PR.
Not likable behavior. Our last clips are bad kids. We have another Chicago takeover downtown.
It says POV, you and the guys took over downtown, and it's just a group of ne'er-do-wells, the other N-word, ne'er-do-wells, and they are taking over Chicago, and that's the attitude. We took it over. That's kind of like the come and get us thing. It's not like, oh, if only there was an after-school program that they could all attend and play basketball. They like it, and they want to take over the Mag Mile. They want to take over the nice, rich, high-rent white areas.
And make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's part of it.
That makes them feel powerful, and then maybe there's other ways in society where they don't feel powerful, and the only way to feel powerful is to like impose your will on innocent people who aren't going to really do anything, and you have immunity with the police.
Yeah, take up space, make everybody uncomfortable. It's a weird woke thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like woke, but without the thought process behind it, right?
It's very true. In our last clip of Urban Decay, we got some bad kids who are going to grow up to be bad adults, unfortunately.
Answer out here.
What's up?
They ass, we gonna cut their ass.
What y'all gonna do?
We're gonna cut their ass.
We want some meal today. We got ops. We got real ops. We got ops around here.
Y'all got up.
We got real ops. We got real ops. Before I blow, I will blow. Before I blow.
That's cute.
Very cute.
Where do they learn that?
So that's the main point of the discussion that me and Fleccas had before we showed this clip. Where do they learn it? And I think one place is music. The music is obviously all talking about that. And you can hear the rappers spell out exactly setting somebody up, robbing the plug, shooting the ops, right?
Yep. And then older men in the community and the people doing the street takeovers in town.
Yeah.
Those types. And what are they doing? They got guns. They got ops.
Yeah. And then another thing that I thought about, which I don't know if this is true. I don't have enough black exposure, but I think the single moms and the people who raise these types of kids, I don't think they shield the children from a lot. I think they just let the young kids hear the adult one-on-one conversation. They don't speak in code words. They don't say like, hey, do you have the KEYS for the CAR? You know how most white people do that in front of young kids, like, and keys and cars, doesn't matter, but they spell things differently to communicate over your head.
They don't say, pass me the BLUNT, please.
They just say, hey, pat me that backwood.
Yeah.
In this case. And so I think there's a version where like they don't protect their children's innocence or like try to shield them from anything. It's just like, we all dance to the same music. We all have one big conversation at the cookout in the house. We don't tone switch. We hear so much about tone switching. We don't do two different things between kids and adults. So I think that's kind of a main thing. They're not shielded from anything, and they see this shit very early. And then where do they see it? Maybe music videos that are constantly playing, auto playing on mommy's YouTube, you know, stuff like that. And
we've seen clips too where like the baby in the diaper's got the gun and he's reaching for the blunt, and then everyone laughs like, he just like me. He just like me.
Totally.
Instead of being like, no. Well, instead of not smoking a blunt in front of the baby in the first place. But you
never do this. You're smoking the blunt in front of the baby. Don't do this.
But you know, they do the baby
as opposed to hiding it.
The baby's dancing and has the gun, and they go, "Oh shit, he's a little adult."
And that's the best reaction. That like when he pulls out the gun and does the adult thing, that's when he gets the biggest wow, right?
Yeah, very true. All right, well, we're moving on. Don't get too down or too depressed. We're moving on to Uplifting Gold, and we have uplifting stuff today. All right, our first story from Uplifting Gold is about a TikToker who left America once Trump won the election, and now she's coming back.
What do I do when a lot of my family and friends are trying to convince me to not move to Mexico? Mainly my husband's family. Like, we can sit and list the long-ass list of pros with, like, very little cons, but the cons are just thrown. And that's, like, the only thing they see. How we're gonna get a job, how we're gonna make money. And the thing is, my husband's family is Mexican. They've lived in Mexico, but the area that they lived in is nothing like the area we're moving to. Like, it's not even comparable. Like, how is it that Mexicans have fallen for American propaganda of Mexico? Because where we're moving is amazing. It's thriving. We're moving to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. It's like 30 minutes from Cancun. They're acting like where we're moving isn't safe or livable. We want our kids to be a majority, not a minority. I want to be a majority and not a minority. Real food, affordable healthcare, tropical beaches, jungle, not having to fear for our safety due to racism, diversity, Trump not being our president. It's affordable and we can live comfortably. Like, what about that isn't worth it? Like, I'm confused.
So now we're going to move to her in April of 2026, which is just recently.
We were finally able to escape the United States, and we're having to move back already. Not even 2 months after. The reason being that our 4-year-old son got extremely sick the first week that we were here. He had a terrible fever, was throwing up blood, terrible diarrhea. His whole body was in terrible pain. He was screaming in pain and agony for days. Even after we took him to the doctor and they gave him different medication, he ended up having a bacterial infection in his stomach and his body. And since then, he has recovered, but he's still having really bad lingering problems. And we're starting to think that he has an autoimmune disorder. So with that, we're having to go to the States to get him the proper care. We've had to spend hundreds, thousands of dollars out of pocket that we were not planning on.
So there you go. But the free healthcare didn't work out, I guess.
Yeah. And imagine like the kid died because you had to own Trump.
And you didn't even make it 2 months. How'd that go?
Bye.
Uplifting, though, for us.
Yep.
All right, next, this is a funny bit. Older women at the airport exclaiming out loud in hopes you'll engage with her. This is a thing that you thought was really funny, too.
I recognize this type of person. The, like, needy for some sort of external validation or something. And I thought this girl did a good job.
Yeah. Hi. Stiff. Little swig of water. Put it back in.
Oh yeah, I really did it this time.
You get it. You know that type of person who's like looking for a convo, wants to
Looking to-
drag
yeah.
you in, suck all the energy out of you, and make your whole pre-boarding flight thing about them. So I just thought it was funny and very specific.
Yeah.
That's like she does that bit after someone did it to her, you know?
Yeah,
It's
looking to engage and looking to offload their emotional issues on you.
Totally.
All right, next, this guy learned a new way to drink cheese.
I'm a little thirsty. Yummy.
I didn't know you could even do that.
You can. That was some fetish content for the people in Cringe. Those two fat guys on the beach in Thailand will go, yeah, do it again. I'll pay you for 100.
Yeah, I like how you swallow the cheese. All right, well, our last clip is actually a picture. Our Pure Americana clip of the week is from a show watcher in Texas who was inspired by us talking about the potholes. And he went out locally and found a pothole that was causing some trouble that he had to deal with probably on a daily basis. This is Mr. Anderson, we call him. He's a big bonus lander too. Big supporter of the show. Very nice guy. And he went out and he fixed his own local pothole. And it's kind of inspiring for you guys. Be the change you want to see in the world type shit.
Plant a tree, fix a pothole. You are one hell of a model American, sir.
That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
And that's cool. So thank you to him for sending that in and being such a good supporter of the show. And hopefully it inspires you guys.
Hopefully.
All right, we got some shout outs.
I don't have any potholes that come to mind on my daily routes. I don't have any that I can easily fix.
I have like a post in front of my house that had my address number that fell.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
hurricanes?
In a windy day like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a wire in it. And I don't even know how to fix that. And that's just been laying down in front of my house. So I have my own issues I need to kind of go work on.
I know how to fix that. I could help you.
Yeah?
It was corroded metal at the base, though. So you need to come up with some sort of bracket or frame and like kind of put it back in.
Yeah, I'll work on that. All right, we have shout outs. Happy birthday to Dennis, who turns 26 on April 8th. He's been watching since the Spoon days.
Happy birthday,
and he
Dennis.
always sends the link to the episode to the group chat.
Oh,
that's
good for you,
huge, Dennis. You're one of the only guys who does that.
Good for you.
We have a happy birthday to Alan Andrew, who turns 48 on April 8th as well. He's been show watching for years. Happy birthday to Alan.
Alan A, 2 first names.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
And we have a special happy birthday to Jam West.
Happy birthday, Jamie.
You know Jam West, Jamie. She is from the Rat Chat. She's been watching the show forever. We actually did her proposal on the show.
Forgot about that.
She made us the Rob Ceviche artwork.
Yes.
Very talented artist. So happy birthday to Jamie Jam West on Instagram. Very nice. And we're very appreciative of all the support over the years.
Happy birthday.
We have a happy birthday to Lisa M, a.k.a. Nick, the editor's wife.
Happy birthday, Lisa M.
Happy birthday, Lisa. Lisa is a great mom and a huge supporter of the show, huge supporter of Nick, who is the backbone of the show. And she's kind of like the show mom in a way, too.
Yes.
Like, when I think of, like, is this appropriate? Should we show this? Should we say that? Part of it is Lisa going to go, shouldn't have done that?
So true.
So thank you to Lisa for supporting all of us, including Nick. And we have a very special shout out to James A., who is an ICE officer in Colorado. He loves the show and he works hard to support everybody.
Happy birthday, James. Maybe we talk to him.
Yeah, I'm working on sending you guys Domino's.
Yeah.
Let's get the
Ice Boys some food. Maybe not even Domino's. Let's get something local.
Yeah.
They get some good pizza, you know?
That's a good point. This is in Colorado, and I had his full name, but I didn't want to say the full name of an ICE officer and then have him get fired and lose the pension.
You definitely should not do that.
So I'm looking out for you guys.
James A.
All right, well, that's the end of the show. Thank you guys for watching all the way through. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. 30-minute bonus land of really good clips and stories coming tomorrow at 11 a.m. on Wednesday. FleccasTalks.com is the website. Go sign up there and get the backlog of content. Bonus Land tomorrow, 11 a.m. We'll see you there. And if not, we'll see you on Friday.
From Cringe of the Week and Urban Decay, there's Uplifting Gold and Fleccas pets getting trolled. Coming up to brighten your day. The only way the show can be defined. The best news podcast of all time. Best to keep the P.O. box full. We won't stop till the world is rid of all the pickles. If more Fleccas content is what you demand, then just make sure you're sub to bonus land. Fleccas Talks, give it up to the world's best host. Fleccas Talks, choose the ongoing tickle the post. The only way the show can be defined. The best news podcast of all time. We're watching old episodes. Yeah, watching old episodes. Fleccas Talks, buying shit coins and trading stocks.
And I love my chaos gremlin. I mean, it's fun. I love her quirks. Sometimes I have to clean yogurt out of her hair.
Like, you have crumbs all over your pants. Like, yeah, it's part of my sex appeal.